Hey, right guys, Trace Munch's Joe here, and today we are watching and reacting to episode 1 of How I Met Your Mother Season 2. It's been over a month, I think, since I watched the finale to Season 1, so it's been a nice little break because we had Christmas and all that stuff, and then I was quite far ahead on How I Met Your Mother anyway, but I'm excited to get back into the show. I thought it ended really well with that finale, and I think the second half of the first season was actually pretty strong. It made me boost the rating up for Season 1 in general, just because the second half was that good. And yeah, as always with all our shows, we are going to do a quick Q&A. We have 16 comments, I believe, on Patreon. So if you do want to ask any questions, we do this at the start of every single season for majority, not all, but the majority of shows that I react to. So you only have to be a $1 Patreon, and for that you can ask a question in every show that I do, or as many questions as you want, and vote in polls and suggest film reactions and join in on all that stuff. So yeah, Patreon link down below as you guys know. And then after that, we're going to jump into the tier list and rank. There's only 7 characters that I could think of to bother ranking, to be honest, because as with like Friends and The Office and all that stuff, you do just get those characters that come in for one episode and you never see them again, which is fine. I get that's part of sitcom nature, but it just means with the tier list, there's not that many characters to kind of go through. So yeah, the timestamps will be linked down below on YouTube if you do want to skip ahead to just the reaction. But if you want to stick around for my thoughts on some of these questions, which I haven't read up to now, so I might have to take some thinking on some of these. But thank you to everyone who's asked a question, and let's see what we have this time. Right, from Ina, or Ina. It could be Ina or Ina, I'm not sure. Who do you think has the most chemistry between all of the friends? They don't have to be a couple or anything. I'm going to go with Lillian Marshall. Not like I know you said it don't have to be the couple, but I think chemistry wise, it is those two. I think Robin and Barney have a lot of potential. I'll say that. Ted and Marshall have really great chemistry. Um, who else do we have? We have Lily and Robin are okay. They have again potential maybe, but not quite there yet. So yeah, for me, it's either between Marshall and Ted, Barney and Robin, but I think they're more like early stages. And then, so we'll go with Lily and Marshall just because, I mean, not so much now that they're not together, but that was the best chemistry. I'm sure they'll be fine, but we'll see. And then, non-related, How I Met Your Mother question, but are you going to react to Taylor Swift album every month, or, I mean, how long do we have to wait for another one? Yes, I will be doing the Taylor Swift album reactions. Don't worry, I've got the third one. I still need to edit the second one for YouTube, but it's just so long. I just was like, oh my god. But I will get to the third one probably in January. I wanted to get it up before Christmas, but I knew that was wishful thinking when I said it because there was just so much else to get on with. But Taylor Swift album 3 on Patreon, late January, definitely early February, because I'm trying to think ahead now. Like, there's not that many shows out, to be fair, so we'll see though. I don't want to promise anything because, like I say, albums are more just for fun than trying to keep to a schedule on them. Jessica asks, one of my favourite parts about How I Met Your Mother is the future Ted storytelling framework. It allows for foreshadowing, flashbacks, and misremembering of current events. How would you like to see these features used in future seasons? And are there any other shows you could think of that could successfully use these techniques? Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite parts about the show. Actually, anyway, I like that they've kept it going because I felt, as I mentioned, How I Met Your Mother, Friends used to be really creative with the way it would edit certain scenes and how they'd tell different scenarios. And then they kind of lost that a little bit in the second half of the show. Like, they still had those moments, but they just didn't feel as frequent as they were, or as they used to be. Whereas this, the idea of Ted kind of telling the story, and you can have those moments where it's from his point of view, but not from like Barney's point of view. So it's him misremembering certain things, and like I say, even just staying straight up that it's Aunt Robin, so we know Robin is not the mother straight away. I think that's interesting. I hope they keep that going throughout the show because that's one of my favorite parts of the show is the way they kind of create some of these scenes. It's not even so much the subject matter that's funny, it's just the way Ted's kind of telling it or how he's seeing it through his eyes. So yeah, one of my favorite parts about the show also, and I think it's quite unique to the show because I can't think of many others where it's like someone talking. There's a lot of shows I'm sure where someone's talking about the past and all that, but not where it's like the main part of the show where they're just kind of talking about and it's their memory of what kind of happened. I can't really think of too much. Well, there's shows where you get flashbacks like Lost and stuff, and a plethora of shows where they jump into flashbacks, but it's always just the scene. It's like how it was as a third person POV. It's never like their point of view, and they could misremember it and stuff like that. So I guess Severance would be. It's a bit different, very different, but yeah, really great part about the show. I hope they keep it going. I'll be disappointed if they drop that aspect of it, but not so much him telling the story. I'm sure that's going to keep going, but the way they kind of edit the scenes. Hope asks, what bromance are you most excited to see more of in season 2? Ted and Marshall, Barney and Ted, Marshall and Barney, or Robin and Barney? I feel like Ted and Marshall are pretty secure, so I feel like they'll just keep going with their bromance. So Barney and Ted, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to say Robin and Barney. I feel like they had really good potential with the last kind of few episodes since the Laser Quest episode. I felt like there was potential there with their bromance. So I'm going to say Robin and Barney. Hopefully we'll get more of that. But Marshall and Barney did have potential as well in the last few episodes. So we'll see where that kind of goes. How will Barney react to the news about Lily? Bethan asks, did the first season match your expectations going into the show? The first half, no. But saying that, I guess I kind of knew that it would take a few episodes to really warm up to it. So my expectations for this show were I'll go in not expecting it to be as good or better than Friends, The Office, New Girl. It's just like I'll just see it as like another sitcom. And for the most part, it has been that. But like I say, it has had those standout episodes, mainly with when Victoria kind of came into it and then doing more pair-ups with certain characters. I felt like it started to really find its flow in that second half, and I just hope it kind of manages to keep that going. So expectation-wise, it did kind of was down, not down in the bin, but it wasn't great with those first, I'd say, 4 episodes. Then they had started to do like a bit of a wave. You know, you had the great episode, not so good episode, great episode. Kind of did that, and then the second half just kind of still a couple of episodes in there that might dip down a little bit, but it wasn't as frequent. So has it matched my expectations? Based on what I've heard about the show and the ratings and how beloved it is, I'd say so far no. But we're on the first season, so it's getting there. We'll see. Erin asks, favourite and least favourite moment of season 1, and what are you most excited about going in season 2? My least favourite moments was it ep 3 of season 1, the one where they were at the airport trying to pick up women, and then that was dead. That was a dead episode looking back as well. I'm just like, oh my god. And probably the way they went about Robin and Ted not getting together. Not so much when he tried to hook up with her when he was still with Victoria. That was just silly. I don't really know what he's thinking there. But then they were trying to do the Robin being all like, oh, I'm not too sure actually. I don't know about this. It's just like, well, you've been pining over this for months and now it's here. I felt like they were just trying to delay it. Like I say, we know they don't end up together. We know she's not the mother, but she might not be the mother, but he might still be with her. Could that be a thing? He ends up with Robin still, but it's just she's not the mum. Oh, but then why would he call her Aunt Robin? Would she not just be like the stepmom? I don't know. That's a little thought that I've just had. He could still end up with Robin. She might just not be the mum. Just saying. I don't know. Probably way off base, but there's something to think about. And my favourite part of season 1. Let's go Victoria and Ted's romance. I felt like they actually had really good chemistry. And then I'll say Marshall and Lily's romance because they just feel so natural. And I said it very early on in the show, I like that we just have a couple that have been together for years. Like we're not seeing, it's kind of like with Modern Family, how we had Phil and Claire. It's just they've been together for years. We're not seeing the early stages of their romance or anything, which is always nice as well with other couples, but you don't need it all the time. So yeah, very, very good stuff. And now they've broken up, so there's even more to show with those two. Alright, so Max asks, what's your predictions for Lily and Marshall's situation now? And do you have any ideas of what Barney will do in season 2? Barney could really do anything. He's like the Joey Tribbiani of the show. He's not like Joey, but just he's that character where he's the lone wolf. Just kind of does his thing. You never know what Joey/Barney's going to get up to. That's the kind of vibe I get from him. So Barney, I don't know, probably still plays prank wars with that guy and become closer to Marshall. I feel like if him and Marshall have more bromance moments in season 2, that'd be cool. And then Lily and Marshall, I'm going to assume they get back together. Hopefully it's not too quick. Like, I'm assuming she'll be in at 1, maybe at 2, and then maybe build back on their romance a bit more. But I feel like it would all be pointless if she just comes back and they're like, oh, I missed you, it was a mistake, boom, we're back together, boom. I feel like they need to kind of get back to that again. So we'll see, but I'm excited to find out. Jupiter asks, it's still early days in the show, but do you have any current predictions about the mother herself? For instance, how she meets Ted, if she has any connections to any of the main characters, or how far into the show it'll be before she's introduced. Good questions. I feel like because I said it at the start, I know for a fact that the ending to the show is a disappointment for most people. I don't know, but I'm going to assume that is the reveal of the mother, because I would assume they'd reveal that in the, maybe not the last episode, but I'd assume it's like the last season or something like that. So I kind of went into the show anyway, not wanting my main focus to be trying to guess who the mother is the whole time and being really invested in who that is, because again, I could be wrong, it could be about something completely different why people are disappointed with the ending, but the impression I get is that it's to do with the mum reveal. So I don't get my hopes up too high about being too invested into it, but as for how she meets Ted, that could be anything. I feel like she could have been in season 1, but I feel like it's probably not Victoria. Like I said, no, it's not Robin, Lily, who other character? Oh, we had so for example, say it's the woman who was in Glee. I forgot her name already in Glee, but it's like her, just someone that he randomly passed by briefly in season 1. I can see why maybe that would be disappointing to people, because it's just like, oh yeah, this random character that was in one scene. Like, they could play it that way, or is it going to be a main character that we do really know, which would only be Robin and Lily at this point? Robin, I could see, like I've just mentioned, I've only really just thought about it, that he could be with her, but she's not the mum. So that could be the road they go down. And then Lily, I guess never say never, it could be Lily, but I just see like they've kind of set up Lily and Marshall at this point. If Lily and Marshall hadn't been together for so long, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like that just doesn't. We'll see. We'll see on that one. But we'll throw Lily in the mix anyway. I'm not going to say Lily's a definitive no. I don't even want to say Robin's a definitive no either. Because, Robin is a definitive no on being the mum, actually. We do know that for a fact. So, yeah, Robin's a definitive no. Not that he doesn't end up with her, just that she's not the mum, is what I'd say. And then Victoria, potentially, yes. I'd say she's the most likely out of the three that I've just mentioned. But again, is she obvious? Because the first romance in the show and all that. Yeah, well, Robin technically is, but they've only really just got together. So, and there's no other women that were in it so far. So, out of those options I've said, I hope it's someone that comes into the show later. I don't think Victoria will be pretty cool. I would be okay with that, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it has to be a character that's not introduced yet. So going to your third question about how far into the show do you think they'll be introduced? Let's say season 4. I'm just throwing a random season out there. Who knows? And connections to the main characters. Yeah, the character that he ends up with could have a connection to one of these main characters as well. So we'll see. Like I say, I'm not going to get too invested into that because I assume that is the reason most people are disappointed, but we shall see. Line asks, what is the thing you like the most and least about the show so far, and what storyline would you most like to see in season 2? I'd really like to see more of the Victoria and Ted romance, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to assume she's gone from the show now, which will be unfortunate, but they did have really good chemistry, at least I thought anyway. Most about the show is it's not the storylines. It's honestly not even the comedy. I think if I had to pick the weakest part about the show, actually, it would be some of the comedy. Not all, but I do think some episodes are very 50-50, which is fine, but I feel like even the first season of Friends and then The Office, not the first season of The Office, but The Office in general, even New Girl, I feel like they just hit the comedy a lot better than How I Met Your Mother does, at least for me. I know comedy is subjective and all that stuff, so some people, this is probably the funniest show they've ever seen. But for me, out of all the shows I've just mentioned, if we're basing it on the first season, How I Met Your Mother is funnier than the first season of the US Office, but that's because the US Office is just trying to be the UK Office. I think I kind of count season 2 of The Office as their first real season, but So yeah, the weakest part is the comedy sometimes, and the best part, I'd say, Victoria and Ted. which is more that I want to see of in season 2. And I'll say the friendship between Ted and Marshall feels really natural as well at the moment. And I like the pub that they're at. I feel like that's quite different to just them at a cafe or something, which is always the case. I like that it's just a pub. So, yeah, I like that about it. The setting and the house and stuff. I don't love the apartment. I feel like it's cool, but it doesn't have the same feel as like the iconic ones, like say from Friends and all that stuff. Like the set pieces you have for these houses typically. I don't love Marshall and Lily's apartment, if I'm being honest, which is a shame because I feel like we're going to be there forever. But I do really like the pub settings. So that's quite cool. Right, Helmy, I want to say, asks, do you have any guesses / hopes for individual story arcs for any of these characters in season 2? And also, I know I've already asked this already. I'm sorry. We'll be starting a week reactions anytime soon. It really is good if you don't have the time energy right now. Yeah, I feel like because with Grey's Anatomy, I said I was going to do 2 a week as well. I feel like when I'm at a point where I'm just enjoying 1 a week, I feel like what I'm going to do with Grey's and this is I'll do 2 a week, maybe every other week, instead of every week like we did with Friends. Because Friends, there were some weeks where I just wanted to watch 1 that week, but then obviously had to do 2. But you know, needed to do 2, and there was sometimes where I just feel like watching 1 this week. But I kind of get that with How I Met Your Mother at the moment, where I'm happy just doing 1 a week. Maybe when New Girl finishes, because that only has 1 big season left after the one I'm on, and then it's like the final season, 8 episodes, which is very short. So maybe bump it up to 2 a week instead of taking on a new sitcom after that. But again, that's going to be way further. That'll be this year, but that'll just be further down the line in the year. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I will think about soon doing every other week, or maybe I don't know, because even that sounds like that's what 4, 5, 6 eps of How I Met Your Mother every month, which isn't that bad. That's fine, really. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll see how good season 2 is, because I feel like when I do 2 a week, it's because the show is really that good, and I just want to watch more and more of it. Because I kind of had that with obviously Friends, but that was One Tree Hill. I was just so into it that I was just doing 2 a week because it was just so much fun to do. There was a point where it wasn't, but for the most part it was. So yeah, we will get there. And then as for any guesses and hopes, I kind of feel like I've mentioned what I've hoped for with some of the stories, but yeah, more bromances. Get Victoria back in there, please. That won't happen, but please. It'd be cool. Well, I won't say it won't happen. We don't know that, but you guys do know that. Agnes asks, how do you think Lily and Marshall's relationship will play out in season 2? I feel like Lily comes back at 1, 2, or 3. They won't leave it beyond that. So 1, 2, or 3, Lily comes back from her journey. She kind of regrets what she did. Well, not what she did, but maybe the way she handles it. Marshall's a bit standoffish. Maybe Marshall is kind of dating someone else for a little bit. I could see that. Marshall, this will be their chance to have Marshall or Lily date someone else for a little bit and realize that they miss each other, and I'm sure they get back together in season 2, but I think it should be in the second half of season 2. Realistically, it's probably going to be in the first half, but I think push it a little bit. Not too long. Don't do what New Girl does and have it be 4 seasons or something like that, and they're just, doing the thing forever. Like, please don't do that. But I think they could do a lot with Marshall and Lily this season, because this is the moment to do it. Because you can't. Can you break them up again if they get back together? I mean, you could, because the show is so long, but I feel like that would get a bit repetitive if they start doing that stuff. So now's the time. Ellie asks, what has been your favourite scene / moment of the show, either acting wise or comedy, etc.? So excited for this season. I will say, shout out to when Ted kind of went to Robin, because the chemistry there was actually really good, and the kiss was good when he went to her apartment after Victoria. So the last episode, was it the last episode? Yeah, I think it was the last episode all that happened. That was a really good scene. I'll say acting wise, I mean, that was really good acting wise as well, but I'd say chemistry wise, you gotta go Victoria and Ted. They're just really good. Like, I like that when he found her at the cupcake. That was one of my favourite moments, when he did actually go to the cupcake shop and she was there. And the piano scene as well was kind of cute. We'll say I like the Laser Quest scene. Let me go on track. So I feel like I need to mention a Lily and Barney moment. I know the Laser Quest scene is a Barney moment, but I can't just keep going on about that scene. Season 1. What did I give season 1? A 7? I think I gave it a high 7, didn't I? What we got? Oh, the club scene in Ep 5, I think it was. Yeah, when they went out clubbing and Marshall was just dancing in front of everyone. That was a really good scene. Um, didn't care for the limo too much, but I liked when Robin was kind of... No, Ted was walking away, I think, from the limo. One of those, anyway. It was really good. Oh, yeah, Barney kind of telling his flashback stories. That was fun. And then we got Victoria going away to Germany. And yeah, I'd say the Ted and Robin scenes pretty much in the apartments when they're doing the room. And even before that, when he was still with Victoria and her kind of conscience, I think it was at 18, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. They had some really, really great scenes in there. So yeah, good handful of scenes. Some really good comedy moments as well. But even looking at the ratings here, I'm just like, God, the second half was just so much better. Oh, the pineapple incident. That was a really great episode, actually. That was in the first half as well. So, yeah, I'd say some of those pick from there as you will. The Carlston asks. I just want to make sure I've not missed one. Yeah, the Carlston asks what I have is not so much a question, but more of a comment, something for you to look forward to. Unlike the creators of Lost, these guys here. Oh, let's not go berating Lost because that ain't going to end well. But we'll see. These guys here did actually have a master plan and didn't make it up as they went along. Yeah, that's fair. They planned ahead. For instance, they shot all the scenes with the kids, including the ones from the finale early on, since, of course, the kids couldn't age while Ted was telling them the story. Yeah, someone mentioned that on, I think it was Patreon or YouTube, but someone did mention that. I think that's smart to do that. It's smart that they knew what they were going to do with these characters all the way through, at least with the main plot, and shot all the scenes with the kids. Because that was one of my questions, I think, in one of the episodes. It's like, okay, he's telling this story to the kids, but when we get to season 9 of the show, the kids are going to look like they're in their 30s. So they've actually been sat in the same seat for 9 years just listening to their dad tell the story about how he met their mum. But yeah, it's good they kind of got that done in the first 3 years you kind of mentioned there. So as for the Lost hate, yeah, it's fair. They did kind of start making stuff up as it went along. However, with the Lost people, they I could be wrong on this, but they originally planned and they wanted to do 3, maybe 4 seasons, and they had things planned out. But then Fox are the ones who own Lost. I can't remember if it aired on Fox or whatever, but they obviously ABC. It might be ABC. They realised Lost was the biggest show ever at the time, of course, and they pushed for the creators to give them a couple more seasons, and that's why Lost ended up being 6 seasons. It was meant to be, I think it was 3 or 4, and it unfortunately, I don't mind the later seasons, but I get why a lot of people don't. I love the later seasons. It's, like I say, my favourite show of all time. So, but yeah, they were kind of made to push it out to have it be 6 seasons. So, yeah. I would have liked a world, though, of what Lost would be like if it was only 3 seasons. How tight that would be. Is it cool? But yeah, cool that they planned that out. Edward asks, what's your favourite moment of the season? Like I say, just picking the bag that I just mentioned. There's quite a few there, but singular moment, that's so hard. I can't really just say Victoria and Ted again, like any of those scenes. The Robin and Ted kiss was really good as well. And maybe not so much Lily running away. That wasn't a good moment. And then Edward also asks, what character do you want to learn more about in season 2? Learn more. Who's a bit of a mystery? I feel like we're learning Ted. Like, this is Ted's story anyway, so we'll put him aside. Robin. I'm going to say Robin. I want to learn more about all the characters, but Robin's the one where I feel like she's the weakest for me at the moment, so I just want to kind of... She's gotten better, I feel like, in the last few episodes, but I want to know more about her backstory and stuff, kind of what's going on there. So I'm going to say Robin, just because she's the weakest for me, so I kind of want to get her on that level of the other ones for me. Because Barney, we had an episode where he kind of delved into his past a bit. It'd be cool to learn more about Barney as well, but Marshall and Lily, maybe some of their early days of the romance, we saw how they met, of course, but maybe some flashbacks, more flashbacks would be kind of cool as well. Anki asks, what do you think about the jokes and running gags so far? Yeah, the first couple of episodes, again, I felt like they were really trying to push the suit up. It's like, okay, I feel like with Friends, Friends is the easiest one to compare it to. You're going to have to forgive me on this, but when it had the catchphrases, I could be wrong, because obviously I wasn't a fan of Friends at the time in the 90s and early 2000s, so I could be wrong on this, but at least when watching it, it felt like the catchphrases became catchphrases because they had a character say it, then they went on with the season, realized a lot of people loved that catchphrase, and then they had that character keep saying it. Like Joey being all like, "How you doing?" I feel like maybe I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe he said it once or twice in a season, then didn't, and then everyone loved it, and then they had him keep saying it and saying it and saying it. And then Monica being like, "Oh my god," and all that. It's like maybe he said it once or twice and then kind of kept saying it because people really enjoyed it. Maybe that's wrong, but at least with friends watching it, it never felt like they forced the catchphrases until like it started going on and on and on. But even then, it didn't really mind too much. Whereas the first few episodes of How I Met Mother, it felt like they were trying to force the suit up and hey, have you met Ted and all that. Like they were trying to get it in there very early because it does very well for a sitcom when it has a catchphrase, of course. And yeah, the suit up one, whatever. I like the hey, have you met Ted? I like that one. That was kind of cool. Legendary as well. That was, even though saying that, I think they've only said that one twice, so that one's we'll accept that one. And they're all Barney quotes as well. They're all Barney quotes. I feel like the others don't really have a catchphrase just yet, but yeah, the running gags as well. I mean, they're fine. The running gags and the jokes I've just mentioned, they're okay. I won't say I'm in love with any of them just yet, but typically I'm not with running gags. I feel like they do just get to a point where they kind of run their course. It's like, okay, you're just going to really fall back. Like, was it Big Bang Theory with Bazinga? Okay, they had Sheldon shout Bazinga every 3 seconds. It's like, oh my god. So that'll be fun whenever you guys force me to react to that show. I know you're going to do it at some point. I know you're going to vote for it after How I Met Mother. I'm just mentally preparing myself. Alright. Gerdish. I'm going to say that. They could be horribly wrong, but we'll go with that. Has the final question anyway. It's already been established that Robin isn't the mother, so do you have any predictions for how Ted and Robin's relationship is going to play out? Like, how long do you think they will be together? What do you think the reason might be for them not working out is, and just any predictions about them and the relationship? Yeah, so we know, like I said, we know she's not the mother, but the relationship could still work out. Could. Very unlikely with how they set it up, but I'm saying that is a possibility. And as for why they might have their little ups and downs, I mean, we've seen what they're like anyway in season 1. They can't really decide on much, so probably them just both being foolish. But like I said, I'm not going to get too invested into that because I know you've all apparently ended up very disappointed by it. So, but yeah, thank you to everyone who asked questions on Patreon. Like I say, if you do want to ask them for, it will be season 3, episode 1. You only have to be a $1 patron, and that'll be linked down below. We're going to go through this tier list very quickly, as like I said, there are only 7 characters, so let's see what we have. All right, goated, great, good, meh, go away. And these are our 7 characters. So the only 2 side ones we had, of course, Victoria, and then the broadcast guy. I thought we could throw him in there. I also searched up, and it's like I've looked at recurring characters in season 1. You had the bartender. But I have nothing to say about it. And the taxi driver was the other one, but I don't have an opinion on them at all at the moment. So, Victoria, I'm going to put in... When I say goated, do we mean goated in the sense of season 1 of How I Met Your Mother, or goated in general? Because I don't think any of these characters are goated just yet, if we're being honest. But if we're talking in the sense of season 1 of How I Met Your Mother, which is what I think we should do, because then technically we'll be comparing these characters to Walter White from Breaking Bad and all that stuff. So we'll put Victoria in goated. I loved her. I thought she had really great chemistry with Ted. And that's a good image. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I really love Victoria. And if she doesn't come back in season 2, I'll be a little bit heartbroken. Just a tiny little bit. So we'll see. This guy can go away. Tried to hit on Robin. Literally, I don't think he quit his job to date Robin, but as soon as he quit his job, he tried to date Robin, and I mean, kind of failed miserably, but also not really. Ted got in the way that works, but yeah, I'm not. This guy can actually go away. If he doesn't come back in season 2, I won't shed a tear. We'll put it that way. And then we have our main 5. We'll start with. I like to go weakest to my favourite. So our weakest, as I've mentioned before, is Robin. We'll put her in good. I do think she's a good character. I didn't like her trying to sabotage Victoria and Ted. I thought that was like, okay, we're really doing this. And then, like, when it finally came around to her being able to hook up with Ted because there was nothing in the way, it was like, oh no, I don't know, I might go on this camping trip with the news report. So what are you doing? So there was more moments with Robin where she annoyed me than with the other characters, but I do still think she is mainly a good character. But I do need a lot more with her, and I hope she doesn't keep up this personality of trying to just get in the way of things and be annoying. But because that very easily could be her character trait, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a bit early to tell. So Robin at number 5 out of the main lot anyway. At number 4, I'm gonna say, it's between Barney and Ted. I think I'm gonna put Ted at 4. I'm gonna put him at good above Robin. Started to warm to him a bit more, like I said, when that romance with Victoria started to come into play. You know, he did fumble that a lot as well. Well, he didn't really fumble it if she moved off to Germany. Maybe not, but he still kind of did. He should have gone to Germany with her. For Victoria, if he's seen her there, that's what he should have done. He didn't do that. And he's a little bit foolish, but he's, is he in his late 20s in this show? So still learning about life, doing his thing. I don't hate him. I felt like as the show went on, I started to warm to Ted a bit more. And I hope that keeps going with the seasons as well, where you just kind of warm to Ted as it goes on. Because he did not have the best start with how much he was going hard with trying to get with Robin. Like, that was a bit much. But and he said he loved her after Ep 1, I think. Which is a bit mad, but it's fine. Do you think, Ted? That's fine. So then, of course, at number 3, we'll have Barney. I'm not going to put him in great, actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to put him in great just yet. I feel like I'd be forcing it. I know a lot of people will put him in goated, but based on season 1 and what I've seen so far, I think he is a really good character. And again, he's kind of like Ted for me, where it just took episodes to kind of warm to him. And he is probably the funniest out of the lot because he does have some really good jokes. And I like his chemistry with all the characters as well. I like that deep down. You know, obviously that he cares about all of them, but doing it in his way. And I hope they just keep that going. But don't have him just be the same character all the way through. You can't just have Barney be Barney forever. I think there needs to be moments, not anytime soon, but there needs to be moments where you kind of start to see more of his character, because I felt like we saw bits of that maybe in season 1, but then he'd always revert back on it. So keep doing that, and yeah, I feel like it would end up being a really, really great character. At number 2, I'm gonna say, call me boring that these are the top 2, but I don't care. I'm gonna put, here's tough between these two. I'm gonna say Marshall at number 2. Apparently, a lot of people really don't rate Lily, at least Lily in season 1. So apparently, me having her as such a high regard, I guess, is kind of rare. But I'm having Lily at number 1. Not quite goated, but yeah, these two are adorable. Very curious what happens with them. Not quite the funniest characters in the show. I would leave that to Barney, but you know, a lot of their jokes do hit, and a lot of Lily just kind of looks out for everyone. She feels like the mum of the group in some way, and Marshall being the dad of the group. So yeah, I like what they're doing with these two characters. I'm curious what they're going to do now that they're not together and how they kind of act apart. And like I said, I think they should keep that going for a little while at least. So we'll jump into it. But Victoria at number 1, because I just loved her. And then Lily at 2, Marshall at 3, Barney, Ted, Robin, and then the only character that I'm not bothered about is that news report guy. He can go away. But yeah, there we go. So let me know if you agree with this list based on season 1. Of course, this is not based on How I Met Mother as a whole. Some people get it a little bit confused sometimes, but that's okay. I understand. But yeah, based on season 1. And then we can go through the seasons every time and see kind of how they've changed, and like we did with Friends, and the difference in each season. Right, that's enough rambling. Let's jump into episode 1 of season 2 of How I Met Your Mother. Let's do this.
Can't you just skip ahead to the part where you meet Mom? I feel like you've been talking for like a year.
Honey, all the stuff I'm telling you is important. It's all part of the story.
Can I go to the bathroom?
No, I can't do any of that. Are they wearing the same clothes as well?
For me, it started out great. In fact, day 1 was amazing.
That was a really good
I had
kiss.
finally gotten together with Robin. But while I'd been off having one of the best nights of my life, your Uncle Marshall had been having one of the worst nights of his.
Oof. Well, they didn't say it. He just went to be there for him.
Sorry, I just need to go to San Francisco and do this art program.
Did we see this scene?
Figure out who I am outside of us. And the only way that I can do that is if we don't talk for a while.
We did not see that, no.
For a while. Try never. Okay? You walk out that door, and we're done. You're never gonna hear my voice again. I should call her.
No, Ted, if you call her when she asks you not to, you're just gonna look weak and you're gonna regret it.
Yes, done with Ted. Let's go.
Find me first, and I will punch you in the face.
Good friend, Ted.
Hey. So did you hear the big news?
You mean how Lily and Marshall broke up and Lily's gone and nothing else even remotely important happened last night? Yeah, I think he knows.
Bro, I am so sorry.
Thanks.
I know it must be tough. But are you ready to hear something that will not only make you feel better, but will actively excite you?
Sure.
Go on, it's gonna be nothing.
For the first time
Yep.
ever,
Yep.
the three of us are single at the same time. I've dreamed about
yeah.
this day, boys, and it's going to be
Well, you're not together with Robin.
legendary.
Legendary. There you go.
We are about to embark on...
I just realised.
Oh, man, you guys did it, didn't you?
How? How? Fair enough. Barney had the vibe. He just knew, you know.
One thing I learned that summer is that when love is beginning
I guess they all just together.
and love is ending, the first 30 days are remarkably similar. For one thing, you spend most of your time in bed.
I wouldn't say similar though. Everyone's in bed all the time.
It was a really beautiful song. So stupid, they would say.
And you never seem to wear pants.
Well, Lily's been gone for a while actually. 22 days!
Man, you gotta eat something. What can I get you?
Beer?
No, that's what you had for dinner.
Fine. Then I'll just have leftovers.
Oh god. Leftover beer
So
for
he
breakfast.
stays home all the time not getting laid? No, see, that's what you do when you have a fiance. He should be down here celebrating. He's free. He got that redheaded tumor removed.
She's been gone for a month. What the hell?
He needs to stop being sad. When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story.
Cool. Thanks for the advice.
Her friend too. She's just trying to figure out who she is.
Figure out who she is? Yeah, she should call me. I got a whole list. She's selfish. She's immature. She's...
What?
God, your eyes are so blue.
Okay.
Teddy bear?
Teddy bear.
Shing. Oh, that's a...
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Smells like her. Like lavender and seashells and hope. Somehow erotic and comforting all at the same time.
That's my shampoo.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought he'd never go to sleep.
What now? Has he been in the room?
He's calling her.
I don't hear anything.
He's calling her!
How did he hear that?
I won't call her.
He knows him too well.
Call her.
Well, I called her, and get this, she changed her number. What, like I'm gonna stalk her or something? Like she's so special.
God, Lily just actually hasn't spoken to him in over a month. That's kind of wild.
They were together 9 years. It's only been a month and a half.
9 years and Lily's just gone.
We slept on our floor last night, Ted.
He watched a scary movie.
It is time for some tough love. We need to get him out of that apartment. He needs fresh air. He needs sunshine.
Sunshine.
Gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Sunshine!
Yep. I don't know if this is what they meant.
The average male brain can only store a finite number of boob images, or BPEGs. And your hard drive's filled to capacity with
B-pegs,
lilies.
wow.
There are a lot of them.
Well, they won't go away until you overwrite them with images of other women's boobs.
This might be flawed logic, but okay.
In boobs. So we begin here tonight, my friend. 2 at a time. Those count as 4.
We all need good advice from Barney, don't we?
It's really nice to be outside.
Yankee fans, please turn your attention to the Diamond Vision for a special 7th inning stretch surprise.
Wow, just straight up, boom. Chris and Hillary, thank God. Oh. That'll go viral.
Do you don't know how to deal with heartbreak?
Oh, and what's your prescription, Dr. Estrogen? Eat Haagen-Dazs and watch Love Actually till your periods sync up?
Wow.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh my God. How long have you been doing this?
Well, my dad taught me to shoot when I was a kid. Whenever I'm feeling lonely or depressed, I come here and it reminds me that guns are fun.
They do look kind of fun in a secure location.
You know, Ted is kind of against guns.
And that's why Ted's never gonna find out about this.
Okay, let's...
Whoa! That sounded kind of scary with me holding a gun, didn't it? No, I just mean please don't tell Ted. You wanna try?
Only hell yeah. Oh,
He's gonna knock himself out, isn't he? Watch. The kickback.
Powerless this whole time, but this.
The kickback's gonna knock
This is
him
power. This is.
out. Yep.
Should have mentioned the recoil.
Why you got him doing like Desert Eagles straight off the bat? And he just straight back up.
Well, congratulations. You're the first person to cheer him up all summer. You win.
What do I win?
I'll tell you what you win. I'm taking you away this weekend.
To Bulwell, the United Kingdom. Have you heard of it?
It's Lily's credit card bill. She must have forgotten to switch her address.
So?
I hear Marshall dates someone
what
else
kind of
for that.
charges she's making out there in San Francisco?
No good can come from looking at this. You've made too much progress already.
I know, but I just
No!
want
You're gonna thank me for this.
I'm with Ted. Let's go.
You're a good friend, Ted. August 5th, one charge, tickets. George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars.
And the way he's telling everyone this, like he's proud that he takes it back together.
Mario's Bistro, and get this, Pet Palace. You guys see what this means, right?
Wow, Mario's Bistro. What a perfect place to whore around.
Right, yeah, this is definitely what's happening. Right.
Oh, funk legend George Clinton, I am so glad you spotted me at your concert and dragged me on stage to dance with you Courtney Cox style.
What's Courtney Cox got to do with this?
You know, Marshall tried to get me to play tennis for 9 years, but I didn't do it because I never truly loved him.
Yeah, this is definitely what she said.
A ferret!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll buy it some food next door at the Pet Palace.
That's right, Marshall. She's all mine. Now I'm gonna let her play with my hair.
Okay.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, why are you?
Hey, you never know.
Ferrets?
You never
They're
know.
Adorable.
Because, Robin, they're like fuzzy tube-shaped rats.
Kind of not wrong, a little bit.
For new charges, you have to go to her online account. You can see credit card activity from like 2 hours ago. But, you know, don't. Why do you talk? Why do you talk?
There's no way you can sign into that, though.
It's not like he has her password. Ooh, this is good. He has her password.
There's a charge from earlier today, the Kellett Hotel on 5th.
Oh.
I don't believe this. Lily's back in New York.
Oh. Is that New York? To be fair, she just stay away for, what? Almost 2 months?
I guess I'd been thinking when she got back, she'd call me. That's really the only reason I've been able to hold it together so far this summer.
She hasn't contacted anyone else either.
While we're away this weekend, can you keep an eye on him? Make sure he doesn't call that hotel.
Want me to babysit him? $20. An hour.
An hour?
Yeah. How about you do it for free, or every time we hang out, you have to watch this. Come here, my little blue-eyed baby.
Okay, I'll do it. Stop being a couple.
She can't just come in and cut him on the toilet. Hello, Lily Aldrin's room, please.
Yeah, bad idea.
Hang up now.
Ted, I can't hang up now. The missiles are in the air, and I know that you don't
Hang
have
up now.
to.
Hang up. Hello?
Is it a dude? Some guy answered.
Guy answered.
Yes, that's really unfortunate. It's going to be not what it seems.
56 days. That's how long it took me to get right about here.
Because you're pathetic!
Ooh. Throughout the
But
big
right
guns.
Now, you are not Marshall. You are the miserable, whining, shampoo-sniffing ghost of Marshall. And frankly, a guy like you doesn't have a shot in hell with a girl like Lily.
Ooh.
You know who might have a shot somewhere down the line? Marshall. The real Marshall. But if you go down there right now like this, you're going to blow it for him and he's never going to forgive you.
He ain't wrong. He isn't wrong.
Of course, whatever I say, you're just going to do the opposite. So have a great weekend. Good luck screwing up your life. Come on, Robin.
Hey, someone had to say it a little bit, maybe.
Is it still okay if we borrow the car? Bold. Bold to go for the car.
Oh, well.
I didn't say a thing.
You think I was too hard on him?
Well, that probably stopped him from going down there and embarrassing himself a bit, but...
On him. You're the one who said tough love.
Yeah, tough love, not hand the guy a noose.
Oh, but it's okay to hand him a 9mm?
That was not a 9mm, was it? I don't know. Maybe it was, I don't know, guns.
I'm gonna call Barney and see how they're doing.
Are you gonna call while okay.
Go for Barney.
Hey, where are you guys?
We're at a fundraiser, helping young women raise money for community college.
Strip club, nice.
Is Marshall okay?
Yeah, he's here and he's great. Here, Marshall, tell Ted that...
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Already?
You go down to the hotel and find him. I'll stay here and get a lap dance on 3. 1, 2, Barney!
Wow, he did not stay committed to that at all. Shocker.
Is there a hot tub at your uncle's place?
A really nice one.
And they're gonna go
Hey,
back.
can you tell me what room Lily Aldrin's in? Marshall.
Hey.
Oh, he's just in the lobby.
What happened?
Well, I went up to Lily's floor, and I had this little speech in my head. Everything I've been wanting to say to her all summer about love, loyalty.
He didn't do it.
I knocked on the door.
Oh, and then ran? Oh. Okay.
So you knocked out Lily's new boyfriend?
Yeah.
Could
It wasn't
be...
Lily's boyfriend.
Oh, there we
What?
go.
Who was he?
His name was Joey Adalian, although he went by a number of aliases in his...
Oh, they're keeping this up going. I like that. Oh, they're sick of this.
Take credit cards?
Yes, I do. So Lily's not back in town, and she doesn't have a boyfriend. That's good news, right?
I don't know where she is or what she's doing. She was my whole life, man, and now she's gone.
And then in the space of a day, by the way, she was just like, I'm gone. Haven't spoken to you in a month and a half.
He had headphones on, big smile on his face like he just didn't give a crap. Happy, confident, not afraid of anything. That guy was you. You before you met Lily.
Ted,
Yeah.
I was high that day. I was so high I thought you were the dean.
What I'm saying is, there's a version of you without Lily, and
Ted's done well this ep, I think. He's done pretty well. I feel like if he's trying to do this in the space of like a couple of days, then I'd be like, whoa, but let him wallow in it a little bit. But because it's been a month and a half.
Starting tomorrow, I'm going to start being okay.
Hell yeah. And then Lily's going to come back, isn't she? Good moves, Ted.
But he wasn't.
Oh.
Because that's not how life works. The next day, he found one of her socks or something, and we were back to square one. And then, one morning...
More realistic,
Okay.
I guess.
I think you should see this.
67, so...
what now?
10 days later.
Marshall?
Oh. Progress.
Sunday. It's Pancakes Day.
I like that. Those done just... And then one day.
Marshall had come back from the dead. Because while baseball,
Little
strippers,
steps.
and guns can help, the only thing that
Baseball,
can really heal a
strippers,
broken
and
heart
guns.
is time.
And then it's gonna be... Oh... Is that... Oh, it is Lily. Got to change that. Oh. And then she come... Don't do... Oh... Oh... That's a really good ending, actually. How long will they keep it gone for, then? I assume she will come back, but... Obviously, but I mean, I don't know if it'll be anytime soon, or maybe the next step. I don't know. Yeah, really good episode. I like that they didn't just have him be like, oh yeah, I'll be fine tomorrow, and then get on with it. So they just kind of... It was showing what it is like to get over, not just a breakup, but a relationship he's been in for 9 years. That's like his day-to-day life is being with Lily, basically. So... yeah, I think they did a really good job with that as well. And Ted was actually pretty decent in the episode, kind of giving actual good advice, I felt like. For the first time, I agree with Ted when he said Lily caused it, and that she's selfish and immature. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of how Lily's handled this, admittedly. I think if she wanted to go and pursue the art thing, I think that's fine. Like, she can't just... if that's been a dream of hers, she can't just like turn away from it. But I think breaking up with Marshall so quickly and then just leaving so abruptly, for Marshall, it being so abruptly like out of nowhere, and then just not even contacting him for a month and a half now, or 2 months at this point, I think it's a little bit wild. A little bit wild. If they'd had like a fling for a couple of months or something, then fine, I guess. But 9 years of their lives have been together, so I think the way she's handled this, even in the last few episodes of season 1, I think it's been really poor. So I'll be very curious how she manages to explain herself through this one. But really great first episode into the season. I like that it's just showing the journey of going through a breakup, and more importantly, a long relationship. Like I say, 9 years, and didn't show that he's just over it one day. It's more just taking the tiny steps to kind of get back on the track with getting on with your life. So Wallow did it for 2 months, and then him making the pancakes was kind of the first sign of we're getting back there kind of thing. Like he was able to do something that Lily did, or that reminded him of Lily, and he's able to do that. So yeah, really great episode. I'm going to go an 8 out of 10 for this on. Very strong start into the season. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below in the comments. Like I said, Patreon will have the early and uncut, so they'll be about halfway through season 2 by the time this one is on YouTube. That'll be linked down below if you do want to join us on there. And I'll see you next time for episode 2. Until then, take care. Peace.